What's up guys, Dumb Dog Dumbo back again with another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today we are going to talk about a personal story of mine. In one of the videos, a couple videos ago, I talked about choosing your branch of service and why it is so important. Today I'm going to really explain with a real life situation as to why it's so important. Alright guys? So for me personally, I've actually this is my third branch of service, unfortunately, okay? So I've been Army National Guard, Navy, and now in the Marine Corps. And I'm going to explain why I did so many switches. It's going to make more sense in the end, I promise. And I'm going to also explain how to make sure that you don't get in that same situation that I've been in, all right? So let's get started. So first off, why all the switching, right? So I started out as a 17-year-old kid who really wanted to join the Marine Corps. Unfortunately, the recruiter was kind of a POS. I've also made some videos about military recruiters. Seth started a comment if you're watching this. This is definitely not about you. You're an awesome recruiter. Shout out to him. If your poolies are watching it, shout out to all you guys. If you have any specific questions, let me know. But anyway, the recruiter that I was working with at the time was a real piece of work, more of a salesman than anything else. And he actually screwed over one of my buddies who was enlisting in the Marine Corps, offered him a bunch of things that were actually that actually panned out to not be true. So I made the decision to join the Army National Guard. Definitely, I'm not here to talk trash about the Army whatsoever, or the National Guard. It was actually a really good branch of service. I learned a lot. I had really good NCOs. I happened to be in a really good unit. So not talking trash, I learned a lot from my NCOs who were almost all combat veterans of both Iraq and Afghanistan. So definitely learned a lot. I took a lot from it. However, my journey was still to become a U.S. Marine at the end of the day. I still had that fire. I thought it would dwindle out after my 4 years with the Army National Guard, but it didn't. I still had that burning passion to want to be a Marine. So I went to talk to a different recruiter. We had a new recruiter in the area. The one that I didn't like was gone. So we have a completely brand new one. So I thought, you know what, this is finally gonna happen. So I tried calling him. Would never pick up the phone. I left message after message. I even tried to go to the office. He was never there when I went there. It boiled down to I was prior service at this point. I had already been in the National Guard for 4 years, and he did not want to work with a prior service individual. It's extra paperwork, and it's more headache for the recruiters dealing with prior service individuals. It's a lot. It's just there's a lot more to it. It's not like a random kid from high school or a kid off the street. It's a lot easier to get them in than it is for them to get a prior service like an Army guy like me in. So he really didn't want to work with me, unfortunately. So I waited around for a few months, and I was like, well, shoot. I'm not re-enlisting with the Army. I want to be a Marine, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out. So what's my next best option? My best option was, well, Marines need corpsmen. Corpsmen are basically, they're medics, except they pull them from the Navy, unfortunately. So they take a Navy corpsman and they send them through 2 months of training, known as FMTB, Field Medical Training Battalion. That's more, obviously it's all about field medicine, so that way you're able to go out and work with Marines and deploy with Marines. So I was like, you know what, if I can't be a Marine, that's the next best thing. I've always been into health and wellness and fitness anyway, so it's kind of in that same realm. So I figured I'd give that a shot. Enlisted, went to corpsman school, got to my unit. I expressed concern like, hey, I was really interested in going to the green side with the Marines, and they made it seem in the beginning that they were on board as well. Like, heck yeah, there's always billets in Marine Corps units that we can send you to. So I stuck around for about a year. And came to the realization that they were never going to send me to FMTB, that school that you have to go through that to become a corpsman with the Marines. They were never going to send me to that school, and my packets never got sent up that I requested. So I said, you know what? All right, what can I do? I can either stay in the blue side Navy, which I was really not a fan of, didn't really align with what I want to do for my nation, right? I'm not saying they don't serve their country. I'm not saying that at all. It wasn't really for me, that's all. So I decided, well, shoot, I can't go greenside corpsman. The Marines didn't want me, but I'm going to try one more time. So I looked at the recruiter in the area. I had a buddy who was recently enlisting. Was trying to enlist. I contacted him. He's like, yeah, new recruiters in the area. Seems like a much better guy to work with, because he had issues with the last 2 recruiters as well. He couldn't get in for different issues, but they weren't able to help him either. But this one was. So I was like, you know what? I'll give him a shot. I shot him an email. He replied, shortly after I explained my whole situation about being Army National Guard, currently in the Navy, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, you know what? That's no problem. Can you schedule a meeting to come and talk to me in person? We can talk about this a little bit more. So, sure thing. So I explained the whole situation to him in person, so in more detail. And he was like, yep, absolutely, no big deal. He was willing to work with me. He got me into the Marine Corps, and here I am. About a little bit less than a year and a half later, I'm a Marine. He got me in. He did his part. Absolutely no complaints. So again, in another one of my videos, I talked about why choosing a recruiter is important, and choosing your branch of service is equally as important as well. So that's my personal story, guys. I know in the beginning it probably seemed absolutely crazy that I've been in 3 different branches of service, but I hope that as I explained the story, it kind of made a little bit more sense. Again, absolutely no disrespect to the Army National Guard or the Navy. It was always my passion to join the Marine Corps. And that's why I'm sitting here today. So yes, I had to redo basic training. Yes, I lost my rank. That's why it is important to choose the right branch from the get-go and not compromise. Now, looking back at my 17-year-old self, obviously I would have done things differently. I would have just went to different recruiters. But I didn't think that logically as a 17-year-old trying to enlist. That's hindsight 2020, me looking back. So that's why these things are so important, so you don't have to do the jumping around that I did and the loss of rank and redoing boot camp again. Like, that stuff is horrible, guys. I don't want that to happen to you. But anyway, if you have any more specific questions about the process, maybe you're in a branch of service and you're trying to switch, I can make a completely separate video on that, on how to do it if that's your intention. It's not extremely difficult, but it's better to have someone walk you through the process if they've already been there and done that. But anyway, guys, just want you to know my Facebook page is live, Devil Dog Dumbbell. My Instagram is the same, Devil Dog Dumbbell. It's more fitness and health based, so give that a follow if you like it. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. Let me know what I can do to make these videos better for you guys, all right? But again, more good videos coming soon, and I will talk to you all later. All right, bye.